What was the first big check that you got, and what did you spend it on?
I was a Viner. Rest in peace. I got a deal with Pepsi, and they were going to pay me $36,000 for 3 vines. That's $12K a vine, bro.
Was that your first deal?
It was not my first deal. It was my first big deal. My first deal was actually for a product I still use to this day on my phone. It's called a Fly Grip. This one's broken. What a horrible display for them. But I'm just getting over sickness.
Yeah,
by the way.
sure.
That's why I keep hacking up a lung. This one's broken, but I use the product to this day. And I asked them for 10% equity back in the day. They said no.
Have they blown up?
No.
That's crazy you still use it.
Bro, 10 years. I put it on every phone case. This one's broken again. You guys should have given me the equity, but I guess it doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But I think the site's like, right? Yeah. It's like they did not optimize.
Okay.
And I am obsessed with the product. That was my first deal, $2,000. By the way, bro.
Wow.
$2,000 as an 18-year-old.
But you went from $2,000 to $36,000?
Yeah, I was rich.
What did you spend the money on?
I bought a 2013 Dodge Challenger SRT 8.
All of it.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yeah. Went 169 in that beast.
Where?
On the way to Vegas.
You're supposed to say Tijuana.
In Tijuana.
Somewhere in Mexico. Yeah.
There was a strip from LA to Vegas.
You do that drive all the time.
You do it. You know it, bro.
Yeah.
There's a strip there where you can rip it. Whoa, that's cool. I'm starting a company called Rip It. So it's cool to use it in a different context where you can rip, bro. So there was one time. Do you know the drive from Vegas to LA? How long it is?
It's like 4.5 hours.
3.5 hours.
Bro.
Yeah.
I made that drive in like 2 hours and 25 minutes one time.
At what time?
4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
I was going so fast for such a long time. Not a single car on the road. Just going in that car. I've had some memories in that car. That was when I was young and I used to drive fast and honestly didn't value my life the way I do now.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought that car. I packed up all my belongings, all 3 of them, including my bird, and moved from Ohio to LA in that car. But that was like the first purchase I made. I was like, as an 18-year-old,
Wow.
I bought this car and I was like, this is insane. Like, I made it, Mom.
When do you think you made your first $1 million?
I know when I made my first million. I was 21. I made a list of goals. And one of them was to become a millionaire by 21. And I was upset that I became a millionaire at 21 and not by 21. And my rule, by the way, was million liquid. Million in the bank after taxes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, which there's a big difference. Jake actually had a clip on your guys' pod. I know which one I'm talking about, but people were impressed with his ability to understand the difference between like having paper money and being like liquid, which you have to
Makes sense.
You have to account for. Yeah,
Right.
surely.
And how did your perspective on money change over time?
I don't think it has, which I don't think is a great answer. My relationship with money has not changed. The stakes have just gotten a lot higher. I take big risks and I like to make money and I like to spend it more. But it's weird because it's like, it's also not like I'm chasing money. I don't have like this yearning desire to be a billionaire.
But why does the average person probably think that you do? Because you do all of these things that are extremely like lucrative. Does it just so happen that all of the things that you enjoy end up making?
Yeah, you got a lot of businesses going on.
In fairness, there was no money in Pokemon, and then you went all in on Pokemon, and then it ended up blowing up the entire thing. So in fairness, that is true.
Money seems to be a byproduct of the things I love doing. I made YouTube videos for 10 years before anyone realized that you could become a YouTuber and make a career out of it. I played thousands of hours of the Pokemon games before I ever made a penny from Pokemon. And Pokemon in particular, for me, there's a trifecta. You guys know I say this all the time. It's business, it's passion, and it's content. It's the perfect trident for me. And Pokemon checks those boxes. That's like kind of my perfect pocket when I can sit somewhere between like storytelling, something I really give a about, and like, will this be financially viable for me? Like, how could you not do something like that? That's like a perfect position for anyone to sit in. And Pokemon is that. WWE is kind of that as well. Actually, WWE is that. I get to do a lot of things where like I can sit in that pocket.
Do you approach things differently now though than you did back when you were like 18 to 20?
No, I'm still a massive risk taker, bro. I spent $5.3 million on a Pokemon card in 2022. And like people thought I was insane, bro.
How much of the value of the Pikachu Illustrator today was attached to your brand and your marketing around the card?
That's a great
question. Because if
question.
I were to sell the card,
Yep.
I don't think I could get the price that you did. Even the Charizard, the PSA 10,
Yep.
the Logan Paul box break sold for almost $1 million.
Yo,
That card, how much more was your name attached to it?
let's do math. The previous first edition Charizard price was $550,000. The one that said Logan Paul break on it that I pulled from a box break sold for $950,000. So roughly 2x, a little under 2x.
But do you think that's also because the market has been going up and that maybe
that $550,000 sale was like a month ago. So
the market seems to have gone up a lot in the last month.
Maybe like 10%. So like, okay, maybe like 1.5 to 1.75x because of a premium related to me. So to answer your question, if you would have bought the card for 5.3 and you would have sold it, I bet you would have gotten 10 million. The difference is, in a very simple way, what we're equating to like anything related to Logan Paul or because it was in my hands is not so much about who I am or my brand. I think it's how I intertwine with the franchise and what has happened because of it. I kind of view myself as like a vessel for telling stories and for making big moments in Pokemon. And I think that is much bigger than me. I happen to be the vehicle for these big moments and for these incredible stories to be told. And I intend to do more of that. And like, yes, it's my name, but I think that Logan Paul break represents way more than like Logan Paul. It's not like, oh, Logan Paul touched this card. It's no, this Charizard was pulled in one of the most significant Pokemon moments in history on Logan Paul's stream. Does that make sense?
It does.
So you say that you're sort of just like the vessel, you're telling the story, but you're not like making the story. The story has existed. It's like kind of avalanched for a long time.
All I am doing is shining a giant spotlight on something that deserves to be spotlighted. That's how I view it.
Now, really quick, every business is asking themselves the same question. How do we make AI work for us? The possibilities are limitless, but guessing is too risky, and sitting on the sidelines is not an option because one thing is certain. If you're not doing it, your competitors are already making their move.
And that's where our sponsor NetSuite by Oracle comes in. It's the #1 AI cloud ERP, trusted by over 43,000 businesses to manage everything from financials and inventory to commerce, HR, and CRM, all in one unified system.
When all of your data is in one place, your AI becomes a lot smarter. It doesn't just guess. It knows. NetSuite intelligently automates routine tasks, delivers real-time insights, and helps you make fast, confident decisions that actually help drive growth.
And it's not just an add-on, it's AI that's literally built right into the system that runs your business, helping you cut costs, improve accuracy, and stay ahead of the competition.
Whether your company is making millions or even hundreds of millions, NetSuite gives you visibility and control to keep moving forward. Honestly, if I were building a business of this size, NetSuite's the only company that I have 100% confidence in.
So if your revenues are at least in the 7 figures, get our completely free business guide, Demystifying AI, at netsuite.com/clips.
Again, the guide is free for you at netsuite.com/clips, netsuite.com/clips, with the link down below in the description.